Welcome back to the second segment of the September 29th Trips and Traps. Andy Serling, Eric Donovan.
3 more races to bring you. We'll start off with the 7th race from September 23rd. That was a Thursday. We're looking at Financier Summer and I'm sorry, wrong race. We're looking at the 1 DeLucci Girl and 9 Super Butterfly.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. The names are interchangeable. DeLucci Girl's a horse who will kind of get herself hemmed in a little bit. By the time she gets rolling at the end, the winner gets momentum on her. On the other hand, Super Butterfly is a horse who's ridden with no real purpose, to be perfectly honest. Super Butterfly is not the world's greatest horse, but she's in very good form, and she's been running better lately, and she'd gotten this terrific ride by Javier Castellano at Saratoga, where he was patient with her, waited for room, burst through a hole. In this race, he's impatient with her. You'll see that she passes one horse after another that ends up beating her. Now, the eventual winner is last, and it's important to note that the field collapsed. But the horse that she's outside of and sort of behind, first the 6, she goes by her. She'll eventually go by the 1 DeLucci Girl. Wide, early, premature moves are not recipes for winning these races, and certainly not for a one-run horse like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think this horse, moving up, I don't want to say sweetly here, but moving up nicely to some extent, and then I think just kind of gets a little bit over-aggressive here with the move to be close to this pace. It's going to collapse in here, and you see, Castellano actually wanting more at this point from Super Butterfly, about 4 or 5 lengths off the pace, when he probably would have been better served off just sitting behind.
I think he would have been better off if he was sitting about 9th right now, or 8th. I honestly do. I don't think there's any reason to have moved so far ahead of the 6 horse who's buried down the inside, ends up getting clear. He's making this 4-wide move to the lead at the top of the stretch on a horse that has one quick burst, and he has ridden this horse to perfection on a couple of occasions, knowing that the horse has a short burst. That's why it's surprising he gave this ride, because he's ridden this horse so very well in the past that you wonder why he did this. DeLucci Girl gets buried in behind horses. The winner's in the far outside, circles her. I think DeLucci Girl could have won, but the winner has such momentum she can't really catch up to her.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. I didn't know what to make of this race. Catch a Penny K, the winner, making her first start on the turf, is one of the longest shots in the race here, 51-1 to win here. So, like you said, it wasn't the strongest field, but certainly I think the way the 9 was ridden here definitely didn't help her chances. And it'd be interesting to see what happens with DeLucci Girl next time out, who I thought worked out a pretty good trip for the most part, but did get blocked in a little bit at the top of the stretch.
Yeah, I judge her as a horse who had a very good dynamic and a horse that I'd be looking to bet against in the right spot. I'm not saying Super Butterfly ends up in a spot I'm necessarily going to like her, but geez, I think she's in very good form and been running sort of the best races she's maybe ever run on the turf. And if she can get in a spot where she just needs more patience, and not trying to be too hard on Javier Castellano, but he's ridden her so well in the past, I think he just dropped the ball in this particular case.
All right, second race of this segment, we'll take a look at race number 7 from the 25th. Don BALCAZIO, the 1, the 5 Newport, and the 8 Rigby. This is a 25,000 two-lifetime claimer. Don BALCAZIO gets into some trouble at the start when one of the horses outside of him comes over, and this is a horse that needs to be on the pace to run his best race.
I don't think his best race is good enough to ever beat this field, but we can agree to disagree a little bit. He certainly has a little early trouble. And this was a race that ultimately came apart at the end, and the horse Rigby that runs 4th, that goes to lead, ends up paying the biggest price. There wasn't much speed on paper. This pace developed super fast. They went 23-3, 47-3 on the inner for a mile and 16th, which is excruciatingly fast. Is actually equivalent probably on the wider to 22-2 and 46 in a small piece. On the other hand, we had a very fast pace in another mile and 16th on the inner that we've never seen before in the 5th race. So both of us are a little flummoxed as to what was